Hello and welcome to Mirkwood Miniatures. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Monsters of Sol and Wildspire box. Just a quick overview, you get 64 miniatures in this set. I got it for £31 on discount on Amazon, but usually it's somewhere around £45–50. So, just to start off with, we have a nice little stat book with it. So you have the introduction, which I'm not reading out, then different stats. So this is the Bookish Dragon, Lamia, Archdevil, then all the other things you'll find, Shark and Bear. The only thing I would say is that I'm not a fan of some of these templates or some of the stats. For example, the adult Bookish Dragon is a monster template, which is nice. It's a huge dragon, any metallic, but also any good. I think that I'd prefer neutral so that you can decide what it is, or evil, because it's obviously a monsters one, so I think they should be evil. And also, it only has an armor class of 1 and everything else is to be filled in. However, they do have some nice images, like, you can use these as a paint guide, of course. I myself I might not. But, like, the Archdevil, Lamia, and the Wormlings. Big Golem's also really cool, which I'll show in a minute. Then obviously, this is one of the nicest miniatures, I think, the gnome riding the toad. And then, this is my favourite though, the hell pugs, because, I mean, really, who doesn't like pugs? Now, to start off with, I will be going to the biggest miniatures first. Just to say, the big miniatures you get in this set are obviously the Bookish Dragon, which is obviously the dragon, with a base of 150mm. The Archdevil's the next biggest, with a base of 85mm, I'm pretty sure. Then the next biggest is the Shark and Bear. Yes, don't comment on its name. 50mm base. Or, sorry, 65mm base. And the Lamia with a 50mm base. So to start off with, let's get out the dragon, who is towering above all the other miniatures. The only reason his other wing's not stuck on is because I want it easy to paint, but although difficult, it will go on. Just remember to glue it on, otherwise it might start falling off. To start off with, as I said, 50mm base. And also very nicely decorated. You can see it's obviously got the books, but it's a Bookish Dragon. And the head has loads of detail. So there. Then obviously his book's nice. He has some nice scales at the front. Then obviously he has his wing on here. And I like the back as well, and obviously it has huge horns. It reminds me of a gold dragon, like, it's a metallic one, so I might paint it up as the gold dragon like it has in the book. Then a closer view of the wing, nice hooked claws. Then it has big bony ribs on the wings, and then, like, they aren't leathery like most of the dragons, or glossy, so they have lovely texture on them. So yeah, you can buy him separately for £15 on Amazon, but yeah, he's really nice otherwise. I think it's better to get the set if you ask me, because you pay £15 for 67 miniatures, which isn't half bad. Next up, next biggest, the Archdevil. He can come in really useful because devils come up a lot in D&D. So, the facial expression isn't perfect, but it's nice enough. He has shoulder pads almost made of bone, I'll say. Then he has some nice patterning and some stitching on his stomach. And a six-pack. On his robes and belt, he has some fresh heads. So he's got what appears to be a wolf there. And either the heads of goblins or children's by the looks of it, and one adult on the end. His robes are nice, but they're very nicely detailed, but quite simple. He has clawed feet, which I must say I think hooves would look better, but still nice. Oh, and also they all have decorated bases, which is pretty cool. Then just the robes from the back again in his back. So yeah, he is 85 millimeters. So nice and big. Next we have the Shark and Bear. When you're actually going to use this, I don't know, but he's a strange miniature. I must say that. Looks like he's wearing shark gloves if you ask me, but you probably can make it so that it contrasts with the fur if you're really bothered by that. Then if I'm just having a look in the book quickly to get his stat block up. See, because also in the book, so Shark and Bear, large monstrosity. He has a nice set of hit points and a nice armor class, which I like. But the speed, that may be a problem for me because I'd like him to be able to swim as well. I mean, like, he has shark gloves. Surely he should be able to swim. That's a picture of him there, so I must say I'm not a fan of the design of that. I think I'll do him white so that it kind of blends in with his shark mouths instead of doing him brown like a grizzly bear. Next up, once we put him back, is going to be the Lamia. So the Lamia is used quite often on online D&D as well, so it's nice to see it in miniature form. It's an armoured Lamia as well, so yeah, it has armour on the back, armour on the front, and also like a scimitar dagger almost, like it's all bent and crooked. However, I like doing Greek mythology Dungeons and Dragons with my friends, so I'll probably use as a Sphinx. I'll make a custom for it on Dungeon Master 5, which I'll put a picture of that app up in a minute. But otherwise, you get really nice facial expression on this one. Wait a minute, let me just get you into focus. It just won't go into focus. Yeah, so yeah, nice facial expression. The hair's quite nice because you can do the hair. I'm probably going to do it a fiery orange, so it's like a flowing fire. Now, the rest of the miniatures all have a set of 4, so they're in 4 different colours. I don't really know why, because you do have to prime them. It says on the Amazon link as well. They work better primed. to start off with the miniature that may possibly be the worst in this set, but still lovely, is the Ratmancer. The reason I say this is because if I just... there we go. He has a really nice design, but along him is meant to be scurrying rats. So where he's quite small, that detail isn't really shown, I don't think. It looks more like a wooded decoration until you reach like the head where you can see the little rat heads. The base though looks very nice with all the little rats coming out. As I said, it comes in 4 colours. That was grey, red, black, purple, and that's it. They all come in that colour. So I'm probably going to be showing grey or purple throughout because I think they're the best colours to show detail on. This is the Ratmancer's stat block. Let me just get that into focus. So he has 26 hit points, which I think is quite decent for... He's like the boss at an end of an easy campaign. Or like, there are 4 of them, so they could be like guards, I guess. Alright statistics. He does only have 1 action, though he has no weapons. So, yeah. He has got a few different spells, though. He is a sort of necromancer. That is his picture. Which, as I said, I don't think that looks much like the model. But it's a really nice design to follow, if you ask me. So let me just put them back. Next up are the Tiefling Outlanders. Here are the Tiefling Outlanders now. So this is the purple one. As I said, I'm not going to be showing the other 2 now. So it has that sword, which I think looks really cool. Obviously the horns, a Japanese style robe going down, and once again a 6-pack. So yeah, there's the face on it. Not much facial expression, but the detail on the rest of the face makes up for that, I think. And here's the grey one. Here's the stat block for it. So, medium, humanoid, lawful evil. That's the only one I think could have been neutral, because Tieflings can be, obviously, characters as well. But otherwise, yeah, really nice. So, it can be mounted. Yeah. And also, they have those really nice notes as well, which is nice. And let me just put them back. Now we're going to one of the more unique miniatures. The Shroom Druids. Here he is. So I think he looks really cool, actually. Obviously he looks like a mushroom, as you'd expect. But he actually looks like the texture a mushroom would be, which I like. Got his armour, his focus, and a lovely flowing cape at the back. and with these, you can do them all different colours. Like, I'm probably going to stick to the red and white a normal mushroom is, but obviously anyone can do different. Here is his stat block. So, small humanoid and lawful good, which I think's good for him. There's his image. Oh, and just so you know, that's the image for the Tiefling Outlander. I forgot to show that. So yeah, that's him there. And he has wild shape and all the other, all the others that the druids usually have, which is quite cool. So he can well be used as your character. Obviously, you'd probably have to take down his hit points in certain parts to make him into a character. But I think he's quite a nice one. Put them back. And next up we will have the Turtle Folk Pirates. Let me find him. Where is he? No, not them. Here they are, right at the front. These are really cool because they have a cannon on the shoulder, which I think is quite cool. A spear, and I don't have many turtle folk, but I think that looks quite cool. And also, like, I don't know about anyone else, but there aren't many sea creature miniatures for D&D around. So I think the nice ones you get in this set, obviously, Shark and Bear I'm going to update so he can be a sea creature. But otherwise you get Coastal Siren, which can be used, and now the Turtle Folk. So yeah, as I said, his cannon is really, really cool. And he's got scales and scoots like an actual tortoise, and looks... they're up to standard to some of the Epic Encounters sets, which is really good. Obviously, I don't think there is as good a quality as Warhammer, but that's the best of the best. So yeah, there he is. Not the best image. So, yeah, 45 hit points in a 17 armor class, which I think's fair. Then again, on this one, he can't swim, which I'm quite miffed at there. Next up, I will... what should we do next? The Lizard Folk Assassin. That's a nice one to do. I like lizard folks because they're pretty cool. So he's wearing his goggles for, obviously he looks like an assassin, so so possibly his goggles are used to see his opponents, or targets, should I call them. Then he has 2 knives, and he has like a thin part at the back, which you don't usually see on them. So then again, what I find weird is that if I go... Oh, I've got them all now. Let me just put them back before I tell you. Yeah, what I find really weird is that on this one stat block, it has swim. So yeah, I think it should be able to swim, but it's lizard folk. But it's weird that they've had it for this one, but none of the others. Coastal Siren probably has swim, saying that because it's obviously a siren. So yeah, there's his image. I'm probably not going to paint it up like this. It looks too out of the 1980s for me. Next up, we have the House Catfolk Bandits, which are quite a weird combo, but here he is. So he has his gun, which that's quite good. That means you'll have a ranged attack on him. And obviously you can't go anywhere without a fish burger, which, by the way, is just wrong. But what I like is that the tiny amounts of detail, like, he has a ball and a string with some katanas in the back, which, that's just cool. And then his stat block, I actually quite like his art. He looks like a beady cat, doesn't he? And there's his sandwich. So House Catfolk Bandit, as I said. 72 hit points, which I think may be a bit much for him, considering his size, but We could be. Now to the star of the show, as I'm going to call it. The Hell Pugs. If you like fire and you like pugs, you're going to like him. He can be ridden, he is a mount. And he has a fire mohawk. And a fire tail. Can't go wrong. I mean, really, how can you go wrong with that face to begin with? He's so cute. He's a small fiend, and he has 49 hit points, which I think's rather excessive if you ask me, but as I said, everyone each to their own. Next one is the... What's the next one? The Goblin Shaman. No, I'm going to have trouble finding him now. There they are. So, the Goblin Shaman. He has like a totem pole on his head, which is quite cool. And his staff, that's nice. Then it looks like he has skulls or herbs around his neck. His, I'm going to call it a kilt. And his armour up the back is all stitched, as if it's been broken many times. He's alright, but I'm not a huge fan of him. However, the goblins can always work with Warhammer, as can the dragons really. You can always make them into Warhammer stat blocks. Here's his stat block. I actually quite like his image. So 47 hit points and a 13 armor class. Not bad. Next up is the Goblin Bombardier. I think that is her. Yep, so Goblin Bombardier. Nice little mohawk on her. Like a tracksuit almost kind of thing. With a bomb in hand. It's an alright miniature, but once again, one of my least favourite, I'd say. Also, her image isn't brilliant, I don't think. Not brilliant if you ask me, but still alright. Better than some. Next up is pretty cool. The Forest Guardian. One of my favourites. Reminds me of Treebeard from the Lord of the Rings. He has a club in his hand, or maybe that is just his hand, because he's a tree. He's got an axe in his head, and he's got a big flowing beard. So yeah, and also he's got a stump up the top, so it doesn't show it on the image, but remember that should probably be like a pale white when painting him. Talking of his picture, here it is. There's his axe. So he looks quite nice. He's neutral good, or chaotic goods even. 33 hit points and an armor class of 13. Not bad. He's very strong with a strength of 18. That's what I mean. I don't think some of these should be good. They're way too strong. Next up is one of the more popular ones, I think. The Forest Gnome Scout. Very similar to the Epic Encounters ones, but he has a gnome with big bushy hair riding him instead of a goblin. Nice, one looks like an animal cape there, and obviously a big chunky toad he appears to be riding. So yeah, that's nice. And also he's eating a hand, because why not? As for their stat block, it is hit points of 99, which I think is too much for any good. But, as again, I said that I think it should be an evil one instead of good. Not the best statistics, though, in terms of that. Next up, I'm going to have a hard on saying the Erinese Bard. That's what I'm going to pronounce it as. Let me try and locate them. They're one of the ones that I do agree with. So, It looks like an angel, but it's actually a fiend, I think it is, isn't it? Yeah, medium fiend. But obviously you can't paint them up as angels and use them as heroes instead, because obviously it's a bard, but just remember to take its characteristics down if you do. Because its characteristics are insanely good. So, as I was saying, it is lawful evil, medium fiend, 141 hit points, 18 armor class, and 20 charisma, because obviously it's a bard, and all the other stuff's quite high. If you ask me, that's more of a boss, like final boss one at the end. So, bringing us on to our next one, the Deep Gnome Worker. I think that's him. Oh, we're going red this time, are we? Yeah, it looks like he has a sack of coal in here, on his back even. Yeah, looks quite fat. Looks like he's been down the pub. Got his hammer in hand. He's a decent miniature. 18 hit points and a 15. I think that's quite good. Like, he's quite a good miniature for just like, he's strong and obviously. But I think he's quite a good miniature as, like, a first encounter of your campaign. Next up, we have the Coastal Sirens, which is one of my favourite miniatures. The scales are pristine on it, just to say. And it is casually throwing a dolphin. I think that's meant to look, though, like the dolphins riding alongside it, having been summoned. I like the look of the fins and everything. The ones underneath the arms could be better, but I think they're alright. Then obviously, like, scales I like. Looking at its statistic, I love its picture. With those rainbow scales almost. Then 101 hit points, 14 natural armor. It's chaotic evil, and its statistics aren't brilliant. But as I was saying, I love underwater miniatures. We don't have enough of them, if you ask me. Next up are the Bookish Dragon Wormlings. Now, even though they're called Bookish Dragon Wormlings, I'm probably going to be using them to make multiple dragons, so I'm probably going to do baby gold dragons, a blue dragon, a drake possibly, but as I was saying before, if you did go with my idea about the Bookish Dragon being an evil miniature, you can run some sort. Obviously, usually bosses have minions. You could do that. You're trying to infiltrate its nest almost to kill its babies or try and tame them. Next up is just a funny one, or I find it quite funny. Beer golems. So he's erupting at the bottom as there, holding some sort of drink or keg by the looks of it, and in the other hand a broken bottle. I love the detail on the barrel, because the top of it is almost identical to the Tree Guardian, so they've done a good texture for wood, if you ask me. He is chaotic neutral, as seen there, and he has, wait a minute, he has 29 hit points and an armor class of 13. He hovers, which is quite good. His statistics are quite low, but he has got damage immunities and condition immunities, like quite a few of them, so not bad. we've already looked at the Lamia, the Gold Dragon, and the Archdevil, so that does bring us to the end of the Monsters bundle. But now I am also going to go through the Heroes bundle at the same time, so I'm going to go and get them out now. So this is the small set of Heroes of Sol-An. To start off with, we have a Karate Panda. Or not, he might be Karate. These don't come with stats because obviously they are heroes, so you make your own. He appears to be drinking something out of a pot, and he has his carved dagger or scythe kind of thing there. Sickle, that's the best thing, I think. Then you have a scientist / professor. I think he makes a better villain, but you never know. He has a nice little cape at the back and some lovely goggles. Next up we have the chef. But he's going to do loads with some frying pans. And he has a big chopper up the back, so you never know, he might be better than we thought. And also he has utensils in case he's ever on the move. Next is one of the best, if you ask me. I'm not sure what she is. She's a girl, if you ask me, but she's stabbing the head of a dragon with a huge sword. The detail on the dragon's just brilliant. So yeah, you have all the meat cut through there. And some blonde hair. It looks like Goldilocks, if you ask me. Next up we have the Angus Cowbell, but I've already got the Minotaur, so I'd probably have a Minotaur human demigod, probably. Not sure what he's holding in his hands, but looks like something that would make noise. Next up is probably my favourite. The hyena, holding the devil's head, and a flame ball, so she could be useful with the monsters set. What do we have next? Next up we have the Leonite. He's so cool, like, I don't know why he only gets his hair back at the bottom, but I think he's a nice miniature. Oh no, they're clothes, they're quite nice. He's wearing a skull ring. So yeah, he could be useful, but at the same time, he isn't. You'd have to make him D&D compatible. Next, we have the Dragonborn blacksmith, I think he is. He has to watch out, but otherwise he's going to end up getting caught by the Dragonborn assassins. So yeah, his hammer in hand with his anvil on the side. Next up we have Kung Fu Bear Man. He's got his shoes on, Frothy Bear. I mean, you've got to have someone to fight off those bear golems, haven't you? Next up we have, I'm not sure what she is, but I think she's some sort of warrior. A flaming sword, hair down the side, and also a little cat in the back. Talking of cats, we have the cat wizards to lead the cat bandits into battle. Lovely little focus. I love the fact that it looks like the moon. And obviously the little ears sticking out of the hat's quite a nice thing. Running away from him is the mouse hero. Nice little, one looks like a needle, but I'm going to say it's some sort of sword and a shield. Huge ears. I'm not a fan of the tail, but I think it's alright. Next up is the heaviest miniature, the dwarf. I'm not sure what his profession is because he has a bird up there, so he could well be a druid, but he's holding a cactus. Huge beard as well. And a lovely cape up the back. Next up, we have the Tiefling, but I'm saying that it's a satyr for me, because as I said, I like doing Greek Dungeons and Dragons. Finally, we have the Pug Rider, you know, to lead the Hellpugs into battle. Yeah. So, thank you for watching. If you want to see more videos, please remember to like and subscribe. If you don't, then that's fine, but if you do, that'd be great. And tell me what you'd like to see next. I can give a campaign for these, or I can always do one for the Greek mythology D&D. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.